Hello and welcome to the stream and number 14 of our digital homicide discussional podcast stream thingy. And with me, as always, is Lothar. So let me transition. Hi Lothar. Wahahaha. Lothar? 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 Hello.
Hello.
Ah, I have that in the title. How do I have that in the title? I changed it a minute ago.
Give me a second.
Hmm.
Now I hear you only from the Discord. Damn it. Push to talk.
No, it's the right title. God damn it. You scared me there for a moment because I changed it in Twitch. You Damn you, Lothar! Oh, do I have to?
I accidentally opened the wrong video.
I need to have this open over here. Okay, it's a confusing setup on my end.
Push to talk.
Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, that only matters for you, but not for the stream. So, how do you like my avatar? It's not moving. Damn it! Wait a second. Move! Damn it!
I have no idea what you just said.
I said move, damn it.
Well, before that.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, face rig is not really working the best way. It's not moving my character!
What's that when it's working the right way?
Yeah, and push to talk is also weird. Let me activate my regular cam. Okay, there we are. So, yeah, today's topic is horror and spooky games. And yeah, Lothar over there scared me by telling me that it's wrong. So, alright, so just deactivated that in the background. Let me get our script open. It should be here. Alright. A bit push to talk. Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah, I can see that you are talking, but I can't hear you.
How can you not hear me?
I don't know, maybe something about push to talk and you're forgetting to press it.
But you could hear me right now, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get into a few games.
Okay, so we're talking about spooky games. Finally.
So yeah, starting with an absolute classic from 1993, Alone in the Dark.
Game before survivor horror even was born as a genre.
Yeah, basically. So this was a pretty scary game back in the day, even though it looks outdated. I mean, yeah, it's 93, so yeah, 27 years, but back then it was the shit. So yeah, that's basically more or less the inspiration for Resident Evil, I think, from the camera angles and stuff that happens.
It definitely is. So because it have kinda same-ish system with well, not with inventory management, but at least with collecting items, solving puzzles, and basically avoiding combats to preserve resources. In that case, I guess.
Dang it! I lost the script. Wait. Okay, there we go. Back at it again. So yeah, Infogrames, they did a lot of really nice games back in the day. So yeah, there was another game.
I can't hear you.
God damn it! Push to talk. Seriously, this is so. This is driving me nuts. But that's the one way we have to do it. Otherwise, I have to wear my headset, and I don't want to.
Yeah, everything not to wear the headset.
Yeah, so push to talk. Yay! Talk for the win. Anyway, there was another game that that I remembered. Wait a second. Oh, that's not on Steam anymore. The Seventh Guest that came out around the same time as Alone in the Dark, I think, was also using same camera angles and stuff like that. But it's not on Steam anymore, it seems.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, well, I can't find it.
I sent you the link.
Hmm. Yeah, that's weird. I searched for exactly that term, basically. Let me try this again.
Well, if you can find
Yeah,
it
I
on
find it.
Steam,
I find
I'm
it through the
guilty.
I find it through the search, but it didn't show it up here in the search line, basically.
Strange. So yeah, I heard about this game, but I never played it. Well, basically for me, FOV games with FOV was like they mostly passed me.
Yeah, it uses a lot of FMV, but yeah, it doesn't show the origin. Yeah, okay, 25 years. Do the math. So yeah, it was that time when a lot of horror games came out.
It basically was the time when horror games were just getting to get some mechanics, atmosphere, and stuff like that. Something that determined horror in video game industry, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, everything was new back then, and you had those pre-rendered scenes, which made games look really good and better than they would have looked if it would have been all done in a game engine.
For lack of the better word, realistic, and how it would look like in the game engine we had Alone in the Dark. So basically, yeah, you don't need to imagine that. We saw that already.
This is already the remastered version, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
the original Resident Evil is not on. I'm not sure if it's on Steam anymore. Is it?
No, it never used to be on Steam or anything like that.
Yeah, the
Originally,
original was PlayStation 1 exclusive, right?
yeah.
I actually played that with the special Resident Evil controller, which had the grip of a revolver on the right side. So every time you were shooting, you actually were shooting with a real pistol in your hand. That was pretty cool actually. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Resident Evil back in the day. I wasn't a fan of those fixed camera positions and stuff. I was a PC player and yeah, I played other stuff. So Resident Evil.
I wasn't a biggest fan of Resident Evil as well because, well, as I told you, I grew up with Silent Hill. And the
Yep.
only Silent Hill game that you can, for some reason, the only Silent Hill game that you can buy on PC right now is Silent Hill 4 on GOG. It's not on Steam.
Yeah, I do have one in Steam. Wait a second.
That's odd, Silent Hill. Oh yeah, it's one that I gifted you. Homecoming.
It doesn't show up as Silent Hill though.
That's strange. I thought that Konami have really low standards to still call that game a Silent Hill.
Yeah, that is weird because I know that I got it from you and I tried to stream it, but somehow it didn't work or something. But
Yeah,
why
it
do I
was
not find
somehow
it?
in between two screens, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I just couldn't fix the position or something.
And just open Silent Hill on GOG.
Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely not on Steam anymore.
Well, I'm the same time is really glad that it's not on Steam anymore, and kinda sad. But definitely more glad than sad.
Okay, let's see. So yeah, that's basically what the classical survival horror game was, or how it started, basically.
Survivor horror games. Alone in the Dark, Seven Guests, Resident Evil, and even before Alone in the Dark, there used to be a game Japan only, Sweet Home, the game where Resident Evil took inventory management and I think there was also fail states when you could fail the game if a lot of members from your party will die.
Yeah, I mean, you had horror games earlier as well on Commodore and stuff like that, but yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you
Atari
you have to start somewhere.
Atari 2600. Well,
Yeah,
basically,
but
horror
they are
games
too.
start working only on 8-bit systems. Let's just say it like that, and on PC.
Yeah, covering those games would be too hardcore. I mean, they are too realistic, and so we decided not to cover those and started with the less realistic 3D related stuff.
Yeah. Well, basically, Sweet Home is yes, Sweet Home is Japan exclusive, and finding this game is kind of pain in the ass. And it looks like an RPG, basically.
Yeah, okay, so I get kind of the idea of it.
So anyway, stuff that we talk about when you have inventory management, when you basically have limited control over your movement, uh, when you have clear fail state, not in just not having enough bullets, but also should manage the limited resources like destroying corpses of your enemies and some also gimmicks like that. So when game doesn't hold your hand and throwing you in the action, it's basically for me it's basically classic survivor horror experience. Something that I think it's mostly not present right now.
Yeah, I think the one game that comes pretty close from your description right now would be Dead Space actually. I
No,
installed the third earlier before the stream, and yeah, you also have to smash their heads or something like that to make them really dead.
uh, I said that something that most likely to fit this description is going to be Devil Within the first, not the second one. Uh,
Yeah, that
maybe
comes pretty
I'll
close
do it
to.
as well, but definitely, if we're talking about Devil Within, it's was the first one and not the second. Wait, oh no, shit. Okay, the first one is modern horror. Okay, go. I'm no, I already forgot what I wrote.
Yeah, but it still kind of fits, and it comes pretty close to the original Resident Evil formula. You also have those fixed camera positions in a lot of areas, and
Not
um,
in Devil Within.
uh, yes,
Well, maybe,
that
but I
that
played like how much?
I
Three
mean, there are
hours, and I
definitely.
haven't seen even one fixed angle.
I remember at least two scenes where you get into an area. One area is where you have to defuse something that killed me 4 or 5 times until I figured out. And the other part was where you're kind of
Oh, you
sneaking.
mean the area when camera is showing you the trap and saying, "Hey, this is a trap. Try to defuse it."
Yeah, yeah, no, but you cannot. You can turn your character, but the camera and the level
Yeah,
will not
yeah,
turn.
okay, I get what area you're talking about. Yeah, but
So
still, it's
that's
not. It's same-ish, but it's mostly in a mod. So basically, it's a modern way of showing you, "Hey, do this, you dummy," or "Watch there. We have spookums right there."
shit. I just realized something. Push to talk is
It's
yeah,
not
fine
like
for.
it's a
uh,
well, it is a gameplay element, but it's not like it's crucial gameplay element.
Okay, I just figured something out and I have to change something because push to talk is working between us, but that doesn't help OBS. OBS is just picking up everything twice again. So let me fix something really quick.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that should be better. Do you hear me?
Yeah. So
Ah, okay.
you
I have to turn you up.
actually wearing your headsets.
Yeah, because until I figure out how to do that in OBS,
You
screw it.
have your control panel on the screen.
That doesn't matter.
You close enough the game.
Yeah, it's not. There's nothing really that. I mean, just showed this, so.
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, uh, those games that we talk about, basically the classic horror games. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Silent Hill. Well, at least from the first game till two, three, from first to third, and sometimes fourth game have something like this. And well, I guess We're basically looking at something that made a modern horror right now. Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, pretty much.
Something that made it more action-oriented. In
That came out originally um around
PlayStation 2, it was in 2000, if I remember correctly.
around 2000 something.
Uh,
That came out first on the was that the one that came out first on
GameCube.
the GameCube? Yeah,
Yeah, 2005.
2005. Oh, okay.
It was timed exclusive that Nintendo didn't thought that it was going to be timed exclusive.
Hmm. Yeah, that was one of the first games where Nintendo basically went into the adult direction and had more games for grown-ups on the GameCube, and on the Wii it continued.
Hey, if you're going to talk about adult games, we actually can mention that they have uncensored visual novels on Nintendo Switch. Unlike Steam.
Yeah. But yeah, back then it was something special. It was meant for the so the parents or the dads have something to play when the kids are in the bed. So
Yeah, okay, so as I said, it basically newborn for survivor horror. Uh, and after first, all games tried to be as Resident Evil. Then Resident Evil 4 came out, and then every game tried to look like Resident Evil 4. Dead Space, for example, partially Silent Hill 4.
yeah,
Dale
I'm not.
wasn't for sure. Well, if I remember correctly, it's basically the same director.
Hmm. Is it on? Yeah, it is. Let's take the original. It's from 2008, so came out a few years after Resident Evil 4, basically.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was development of Dead Space 3 was like they were prototyping on System Shock remake, or basically a game in System Shock universe. Then they decided to take out the aesthetics of System Shock and but have the concept of mutation and basically horror in space. And then Resident Evil 4 came out, and we have, well, again, horror classic. With a lot of problems, to be honest. Basically, PC Power have a lot of problems, especially with the mouse acceleration and stuff like that.
What, for
But
Resident
still,
Evil 4?
no, this one. If we're going to talk
Ah.
about the original port of Resident Evil 4, I didn't think about bringing this game here. Uh, it had no mouse support. You played it from your keyboard alone, and you should target. I think targeting was like I is up, K is down, J is left, and L is right. And if you wanted to shoot, you should push the button, target with those keys, and press another button that I don't remember. I usually used a mouse patch, so I could use a mouse look and fire my gun with the mouse.
Holy shit, who came up with that? I mean, wow.
The same
That's.
guy who thought that using practically the same control scheme with Devil May Cry 3 original port.
Hmm. Oh boy.
Yeah, Capcom used to be a little bit incompetent.
Yeah. It happens with some companies sometimes. But yeah, Dead Space, I tried it a few times, but for some reason, and it's mainly the camera angle. I cannot play that. It's just, I don't know.
It's
The
basically
third
the
one,
same as Resident Evil 4.
yeah,
And
that's
Devil
that's
Within, by the way, we can put that thing because why not?
yeah,
Told that I'm going to talk about it a little bit.
worked better for me actually, and I kind of want to play it again, but I don't know. There have been a few strange things, and I played something else.
Uh, so yeah,
But yeah,
basically from the creator of, from the director of Resident Evil 4, yeah, from the director of Resident Evil 4, and when we basically had a crisis of survival, no, horror as a genre, in movie it still didn't end, in video games. Let's say that it came out during FNAF craze.
yeah, definitely, it definitely,
Basically, it was an attempt to rec- revival, an attempt of revival of modern survivor horror.
yeah, exactly. And everybody was waiting for it because of the creator.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of knew what they will get into, and it was pretty gory. I mean, it still is.
Oh, I'm actually. Uh, I know why people don't like this game, but at the same time, I don't think that Devil Within 2 was a right direction for the series. Devil Within 1 is, well, I said it the last time, but it's really heavily, let's just say, inspired by Resident Evil 4.
hmm,
It tried a lot to mimic Resident Evil 4 with control, but it has some petty scenes that it's borrowed from other genres. There's like obligatory stealth section, obligatory chase section, QTEs, and something like that.
hmm.
Dale Within didn't need a complete rework like Dale Within 2. Dale Within need to be polished. Like take out a lot of QTEs, take out obligatory stealth section, take out obligatory chase section. Well, basically, in Silent Hill, you had a kinda obligatory
Take out everything
chase
that's
section.
obligatory. Just kill scenes.
No, if you're gonna make an obligatory chase sequence, make it right, not like you flip the trigger, loud noise, and the enemy was like, "Hey, how he got over there? I better take my chainsaw and kill that motherfucker." You should be like, "Derpy, derpy, derpy, derp. Who the fuck out there? Oh, he's going to kill me, right? Yep, I'm going to run the fuck away."
Yeah, I played it a bit over 3 hours, but I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the camera position and the controls. I don't know. Something didn't made me stick to it. I mean, it looks
well,
nice and all, but
well, basically, as I said, it's the same as in Resident Evil 4 and in Dead Space. So I think that the problem that you had with Dead Space is kind of similar with the Evil Within.
yeah, maybe. It's just too far. The character is just too far on the side. I mean, you have that in other games as well, where you have a slight change of the camera angle from the right or from the left side. But it's just a bit too much for me. Dead Space 3 works much better for me. That's I can play
Mhm.
that.
Because Dead Space 3 allows you to see more on the left. Uh,
Yeah,
it's kind of,
it's more centered.
yeah, if we're talking about, let's say, classic camera position for action horror,
They should let you
It's
choose.
not really. When they forcing the camera on the right, you basically have a blind spot on your left.
Hmm.
So if you ain't if you're not looking around, enemy will have a cheap hit on you just
Yeah,
because
that's true.
you ain't looking that way. So basically, you should always be worried about your surroundings.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a point, yeah.
Well, if we're going to talk about the point in that space from 1 to 3, you always should turn around because there always will be something that crouching to you and it will try to eat your face.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's just say that Dale Within and Dale Within 2 is two polar opposites of modern survivor horror.
Mm,
In one is too heavily inspired by Resident Evil 4, and basically it's the start of the era of modern horror. And the other is, well, it's basically they looked on games like Dead Space 2 and decided, hey, people like action, so let's make all the game an obligatory action.
mm,
Well, you can mix it with an obligatory stealth section because wasting your ammo on fights that you, well, you can win them. I can say that you have no guns or have no means of defending yourself in Devil Within 2, but I definitely don't think that Devil Within 2 was. Fuck it. Devil Within 2 is not a good game.
I don't have it, so I cannot judge.
Yeah, I have it on GOG, so you know.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Devil Within 2 was the game that killed the series.
Hmm.
It had the potential, but basically Devil Within 2, no. What you're expecting? That we're going to polish mechanics that we had? We're going to bring you back the original modern survivor horror? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but it has very positive reviews.
It's not
I mean,
like this kind of games doesn't have its audience, but it's definitely not something that was expected from continuation of original Devil Within. When I
okay.
saw how they reworked it, I was like, yeah, I don't want it. I don't like what they did with this game. I bought it a lot later when it came to GOG
Hmm.
because it was discounted, well, heavily discounted.
Hmm. What's funny right now, it shows me on the store page, similar to games you've played, The Forest and Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
What?
definitely not.
How are those two games similar to The Evil Within 2, which is a single
It's
player
Steam we're
game?
talking about. Steam recommendations, not something you should question.
I had another info which is similar to games I played, and the game had absolutely nothing to do with that genre even.
Oh, open world.
No, wait, it
Yeah.
was. Let me actually show you.
No.
Let's.
I mean, Devil Within 2 is similar to those two games because it's open world.
No, yeah, okay. Okay, so this here is a puzzle game, and it says it's similar to games like Horizon Zero Dawn and Tomb Raider, which are third-person action platform with some puzzle elements. This is a pure puzzle game with exploration, okay, but it's a puzzle game. So that just on a side note.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Again, Steam
back.
recommendation is not something you should question.
Yeah, that's just so weird sometimes.
It's not like The Evil Within 2 doesn't have good atmosphere. We'll talk about this later. Again, it's too action-oriented. It's tried to flex its muscles. And let's talk about the time when The Evil Within and The Evil Within 2 was even born. The horror. I think it's fair to say that it was a horror crisis. Streamer baits, YouTuber baits. Basically, FNAF happened.
Come on, go back to that page. There you go. Yeah, so yeah, it was around the time when streaming did really had a boom or started to grow really around 2013, 2014. So
Basically, FNAF has a really good example. Like, hey, you should be scared right there. You shouldn't watch any other direction. We'll just show it into your face. You will not miss it. You should react right there. It was annoying. It's not like, and talking about this streamer base, FNAF basically most developed out of them. It's well, credits when credits due. Scott definitely created a rich lore for this game.
yeah, I mean it's funny if you, or it can be funny to watch others suffer in quotes and get scared
It's
and
kinda get really boring really fast when 100% of people saw the same fucking jump scare and they had over the top reaction like, oh my god, I seen this thing first time in my life, I've never been spooked.
yeah, I tried it. It's not my game. I don't know. It's just no, nah, it's not my game.
Yeah, during this time horror games became, well, let's just say they became the shell of the former self. And if we're talking about games like, what was the game about the painter?
Layers of Fear.
Yeah, if we're talking about games like Layers of Fear, it has kind of classic vibes, like classic horrors, like Seven Guests and something like that.
Mm.
But if we're talking about games like Five Nights at Freddy's, uh, Emily Wants to Play, and other stuff like that.
Yeah, all that random jump
Basically,
scare.
uh, basically, open Emily Wants to Play. Yeah, and the biggest problem was they heavily relied on jump scares.
Yeah, basically, that's what the game is.
If you look at Emily Wants to Play, this game has no atmosphere. Dark, no lights. Yeah, scary. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Creepy mannequins. Saw it a million times. Do something with it. Don't show me just a creepy mannequin and say, "Hey, it's creepy." Show at least something. Mannequin moving when you're not looking at it. Twitching, something. Show me something that I should be scared of mannequin.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
show me jump scare and drop me back at the start of the game. Show me
you
something that I should be spooked.
but you do have that stuff like puppets moving their position and things like that.
And boom, jump scare.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a few people play it, but it doesn't really appeal to me. And that's also one of the
And
reasons.
also about very positive. This game has a very positive rating overall, but this game is shit.
Yeah,
It
the
has
recent
like
reviews are
10 to
mixed.
20 minutes of gameplay if you ain't killed by jump scare.
Mm. Yeah, there's another game that goes a bit in that direction, I think. I got that offered and I'm kind of tempted, but it's VR and I cannot play VR at the moment, so it's called Hello Puppets. Looks interesting, but yeah, like I said, I cannot try it. But goes a bit in that direction, I think.
So far, it's looking like something that okay, that was interesting.
Which one?
That scary thing with red eyes.
That
I think it might be going Outlast direction. Oh yeah, Outlast. Basically the same way as the Layer of Fears and again 7 Guests.
Yeah, pretty much. I still need to continue with that.
I'm not going to be continue with that game. I definitely prefer even a limited amount of ammo versus no amount of ammo.
Is it too much?
It's not as much as Silent Hill because I played it for a while. Definitely, I know how to play it. I just don't like being thrown. Let's just say that I don't like being thrown back 10 to 20 minutes of gameplay because you either didn't dodge right or didn't see the only obvious direction to go.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also not the biggest fan of that. And what I'm not the biggest fan of is when I have to use something like the night vision mode of a camera or a phone or something like that. I have a
I
few
kind of
really
like that thing.
good games, but yeah, I don't know. It's always, and you have to find batteries, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, I never had a problem with batteries. I think I
Yeah, it
can
was
live
just,
into double digits with them.
yeah, I don't know. It was just one point
Well,
that you
it's
have in other
TBS,
games
let's
as well.
just say.
Yeah.
That you always should look for them and something like that.
It's also, it came out in the same year as Dead Space 3, actually. That Outlast is already 7 years old.
Let's just
Interesting.
say that they did a really good job, and for me, it's did a job a lot more better than the Layers of Fear.
Yeah, it goes in a different direction. I mean, Layers of Fear is, I mean, you do have a few sequences that are a bit different, but for the most part, it's a walking simulator. I wouldn't call Outlast a walking simulator anymore. If it's more a run away and run for your life parkour game, because you will
Yeah,
run a
Outlast
lot.
definitely demanding a lot more impact from you than the Layers of Fear.
Yeah, and you can die way more often. So
Can you die in the Layers of Fear?
I think there are a few sequences that you can mess up and to start again. If I
Yeah, okay.
remember correctly.
Basically, it has a fail state. Okay, I get
Yeah.
it. Hey, and again, this game was released during the crisis of survival horrors.
Yeah, it was I mean Outlast definitely
I
um
basically
came.
can call it a horror bait, but it's definitely outdone itself as a streamer bait, but it basically outdone itself as streamer bait.
What is Outlast Trinity? I have that in my library. What? Oh, that's the full package. Ah, okay, I see. I didn't know. I mean, I know that I have all of it, but Outlast Trials, is there a new one upcoming? And Freedom ends in 2021. Okay, well now that's an interesting statement.
Okay, if they will fix the problem that the Outlast 2 had, that definitely would be a plus.
It will have up to 4-player co-op, single player or up to 4 players.
I already have drenching hope just from the word 4-player co-op.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, and I played Dead Space 3.
That could
So
be interesting.
maybe, but still. Yeah, I think that we can mention also stuff that has horror elements, but not full-time horror.
So the next part, basically, the mixed ones.
Yeah, I can't call games like Stalker or Fear as 100% horrors, but Stalker and Fear definitely is games with a lot of horror elements in it.
Yeah,
And
that's
when
true.
I'm talking Fear 1 specifically.
Mm.
Fear 2 is basically Resident Evil 6 of Fear series. And
Yeah,
I
Fear
never played Fear 3.
1 is not out on Steam anymore. At least not on. It doesn't show
Check
up on mine.
the fucking hell. There he is.
Then let me look like this. That helps. It shows me 2 and 3. What the hell? Wait, I saw it. And then it was gone. What?
I think it's written without dots.
The heck? I saw it. I definitely saw it. And then
Just
poof.
open the link. Oh yeah, it's in
Yeah,
the
but the link
browser.
opens my browser. That doesn't help
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
That's my problem, you know. But wait, I can open that and not that. This here.
Yeah, you basically can copy paste the name of it.
That's my plan. Yeah, it's not available in my region. That's the reason.
Oh. Okay, let's try it on GOG. It's on GOG as well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Fuck.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, looks like Wikipedia is our savior.
But what? Why can I? Yeah, it shows it. It shows it for a slight moment and then it's gone. That's hilarious. What the frick? Yeah, that's.
Simp turn around.
Yeah, but Fear does have that horror element of what's her name? Alma, I think.
Yeah.
That girl that brings you in strange. I don't want to call it dimensions, but
Hallucinations, basically.
yeah, hallucinations. It reminded me a lot of Max Payne, which also had some horror elements to it, actually.
Oh
Where
yeah, I
you,
actually forgot about that.
yeah, where you were walking around in a dream state and went into your house and heard your baby scream all the time, and it was kind of weird, and I think that spooked out a few people.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good scene, and
Mhm.
again, a really good and really good spooky atmosphere in the non-horror game.
Yeah.
Something that most game from horror horror game crisis didn't have.
So I
Max
can
Payne 1 rule?
yeah,
What?
yeah, the original Max Payne is not allowed in Germany. I mean, I still have it, but yeah, I can buy the Russian, or I can see the Russian version. I cannot even buy it. That's weird.
Uh, mm, what?
It's a translation version of the original game. So it's basically for you when you know when you have the game already, you can get that version on top, I guess.
You know what that orange box saying? Even for me, this product is non-available in your language, and I can't buy Max Payne RU version.
Because English is my Steam store setting.
Yeah, and mine is Russian, and it's saying that this product is not available in Russian.
Okay, is Max Payne for you Russian already?
No, it's basically the same blank page as for you.
That's weird. I never saw that
Yeah,
before. It's really weird. I still need to play Max Payne 3, but it's so much different than the others, so.
people who played it said that it's alright, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a bad game, but it's not. If you're a fan of original Max Payne 1
Let's
and
just
2,
say that it's definitely the bottom of the barrel. After
no,
the
it just
fall,
doesn't.
Max Payne hit it. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, in his life.
it doesn't really have much to do with the original. It's kinda a reboot of the series, I think. I'd call
I
it
think
more reboot.
it. Well, let's just call it a kind of soft reboot because they definitely put Max in the worst state of the life, and he's trying to pull himself together. So anyway,
Yep.
even
Alright.
non-horror games can have good horror elements. And when you can see that the horror made better in non-horror games than in horror games, I don't know about you, but I actually question my sanity. Why the fuck I had better horror experience in Stalker than in any other game?
I don't know. I did play Stalker, but I didn't play it really that much. I mean, I had a few mutants, but I wasn't really down in any basements or that dark areas or
Oh,
anything.
we're gonna look at the basement.
I mean, they did cut out a lot of stuff that was supposed to be in the game, which made it even more spooky.
They basically cut out the most advanced AI that they made because AI had a possibility to finish the main quest in front of you.
Really?
They, yeah, they had some testers who returned that this is possible.
Okay. That's strange.
Well,
Hey, look, the game plays itself. Woohoo!
yeah, it was basically at the time when the end goal used to be a little bit different. I don't know how much it was different, but from stories, it used to be a little bit different, and AI had a possibility to finish the story.
Crazy.
Yeah, but Stalker definitely is Slavic jank.
Yeah, there's a mod out where you can actually add stuff like vehicles and all that stuff that was cut from the game. All that
Adding
alpha
vehicles
gameplay.
in the game is basically something that you don't wanna do. Vehicles are working, but when you trip on anomaly, yeah, it's let's just say that a unique experience. And one of the part of this experience that the game might just crash.
Mm. Yeah, I mean they added content that's not supposed to be in there, so mods always can crash your game.
But when we're talking about uh, Call of Pripyat, there is a mod named Shadow of Pripyat.
Yeah.
You putting it on top of Call of Pripyat, and you have locations from all three Stalker games.
Hmm.
I think you even have the Shadow of Chernobyl quest line in this game, but to finish the quest, you should play as loner, scientist, duty, what was that? Freedom, or mercenary.
Hmm. Okay.
Bandits and military couldn't finish the original quest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I played like a character like that anyway. So, I mean, you're kinda in. I mean, it's an apocalypse, so
No, it's not an apocalypse. You just in
kinda.
the zone that you should not be in.
Yeah, but in that zone, it's kinda apocalyptic.
Yeah, basically.
So that's what I meant.
In that case. So again, I'm always mentioning the atmosphere.
Mm.
Cute little guy.
Since we were
I'm
talking
always
about that earlier.
mentioning the atmosphere. And for me, the atmosphere is the most important thing in the horror.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a reason why. Was it Resident Evil 5? That was the one in Africa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so when that info came out the first time, like, hey, it will be mostly daytime and outside and stuff, and everybody was like, what? I mean, you still have zombies and stuff in there, but it's a
I
different story
think
if you're
I
outside.
think they definitely underplayed it. You saw those clips from Turbina Turista, right?
Hmm.
They
I mean,
definitely could play with voodoo culture.
yeah, I did play it. I tried it a few times, but for
Let's
some
just say
reason,
that Resident Evil 5 is shit.
yeah, I cannot get into that game. I don't know. It's just
You also can't play this in co-op anymore because Games for Windows Lives is dead.
oh, there are ways around stuff like that. But is
Oh,
it worth
maybe.
it?
Um,
Nah.
you
I
know, I
rather
actually
play
don't know.
I rather play Dead Island or something like that.
I think it's more worth it to play it in co-op than playing it single player. I'll put it like that.
Oh yeah, I cannot even show Dying Light because I own it, but I cannot get to the store page. Talking about the more modern games, Dying Light is a freaking awesome game. So definitely looking forward to Dying Light 2, which was supposed to come out this year, when I remember right, but gets delayed and delayed and delayed.
Yeah,
So
and Cyberpunk got delayed again, and people already sending death threats to Pollux, who
yeah, I
just
mean,
worked not 12 hours a day, but maybe 10 hours a day, and didn't sleep at the office. And 6 days
yeah,
per week, and not 7 days per week, like some developers.
yeah, some people. I mean, yeah. So what? It's delayed. If we get a
It's
perfect
not like
product,
they was like, we're going to release it on Christmas because it's the most big sale day. We're gonna release it when it's done.
yeah,
And they basically working with
it's too,
PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5 ports at the same time. So they need to send 4 different builds for this game as well.
I heard something about they have 9 different versions.
Oh yeah, I read about 9, but I can count only to 5.
So You have to take in account the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox Series S and X.
Yeah, I counted them.
They included. There's a Switch version as far as I know. You have the PC version.
That's 6.
So
Well, basically, they delayed it because they want to release it on every platform at the same time.
yeah, that and it's a freaking pandemic that does change stuff. I mean,
And they working from the home and not from the office.
exactly, that's the thing, and they're not the only ones because those who will produce, I don't know if they're. I guess there will be retail package and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not like they do everything in house. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, if you want to play a really awesome zombie horror action game, Dying Light is awesome.
Still say that how zombies can grab you even if you dodging is bullshit, but it's definitely not the worst experience that I have had in the video games.
Yeah, you can overcome pretty much everything in the game. But yeah, it's not available in my region, so I cannot show you. I've what's really weird, I can see 2 DLCs that I could buy and the others not. I don't get it.
Yeah, like me.
It's so weird. Because I wanted to buy a weapon DLC, cost only $2, and I would have returned again because they always have nice events running. At the moment, it's Left 4 Dead 2 crossover event, and Pumpkin Hunt, and I don't know what. So, I was kind of thinking about returning because I saw that I have some DLC that I think I didn't play. So the cuisine and cargo, I cannot remember that. So might replay that again. But yeah, that's a really good one. And as soon as Dying Light 2 comes out, that's definitely no-brainer purchase for me. I'm definitely buying that. I had so much fun with that. Should I show that video? Because I already have that open in the background.
Yeah, okay. So I was talking about the important how atmosphere is important. So let's go back to 95, I guess. But on the GameCube and see how Resident Evil, technically the first survivor horror game, built it atmosphere.
Would be okay here. All right. Aim for the head!
It's kind of hard in Resident Evil.
I know.
At least in originals. But yeah, in the remake you definitely should destroy the head, or you'll see a little bit surprise sometime later. But yeah, again, the music, the movement, twitching, it's basically, in a way, it's perfect, and it's built the atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely.
And
But it,
if you look how they did it in the sequel,
I remember that scene actually.
I saw it only in the remake, so
Surprise! Give me a kiss.
Yeah, seeing the thing when you have only a handgun is... well, let's just say it's something that you don't wanna see with only a handgun. Well, especially in Remake, because they buffed them a little bit, like a lot.
Okay. Shit. Um,
Let's just skip that one. Skip on the next.
Alright. Oh yeah, I remember that scene as well.
And my favorite example of building an atmosphere, that series.
Yeah, when it comes to atmosphere, Silent Hill is definitely a nice game. I didn't play it much back in the day, but I do know enough about the game.
And I know that Konami has a PC ports for this game and Silent Hill 2.
Mm-hmm.
And boom! It was loud. It didn't have the let's just say it didn't have a music here, but something weird happened. You don't know what happened. You see the blood, and this this thing that just happened. It's already making this room kinda uncomfortable to be in.
Mm. It wasn't the mannequin scene that I was expecting.
This mannequin scene never happened in the original game. It only in the movie.
Mm.
And if you're talking about Pyramid Head first appearance, that's Silent Hill 2.
No, I mean the mannequin legs. That enemy.
Yes, it's never happened in the game.
Huh? But that's out of the game, isn't it?
No, it's out of the director mind.
Saw that in a gameplay video.
No,
Yes.
I beat that game. I know that I never seen that thing.
I don't know where it is, in what part it is, but I definitely saw it in a gameplay trailer.
It's Silent Hill 2.
I don't know which part it was.
Uh, in the search, Pyramid Head, Silent Hill 2 Pyramid Head first appearance or first scene. No, Pyramid Head
Oh wait.
mannequin scene.
No, that's not what I mean.
No, Pyramid Head exactly mannequin scene. It
Oh
should
yeah,
be the first. Yeah, that one.
those enemies. I meant.
Yeah, that sounds cool too.
All right. Did I wait? Did I copy that? That's Silent Hill.
Yep. the original one.
Yeah.
Nostalgia game that I can't play.
Doesn't look too bad.
No, it's I can't play because I definitely I can't go beyond the school. I always stopping that and saying, "Yep, that's enough for me."
Mm. Yeah, well. Schrödinger's cat, right?
Yeah. And again, when the first appearance of the cat was like loud and unexpected, so he was like jump scare. The second appearance of the cat is the cat is missing,
I
but
mean,
it's
that's...
already leaving a bloody mess in the locker that he used to have the cat.
But it's only dead if you open it. Yeah, Schrödinger's
No,
cat
it's
is...
always that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's as long as you don't check, it's dead and alive. So
Yeah,
yeah.
as long as you don't check, it might be alive, basically.
Yeah, I mean that's the concept of Schrödinger's cat. And
No,
also
concept of
the...
Schrödinger cats is, let's just say it's not how we portray it, but basically,
Yeah, it's also where the term curiosity killed the cat comes from, as far as I know. So yeah, as long as you don't check, you don't know.
yeah,
Could be dead or
but
alive.
basically, Schrödinger cat is if we let's just say if we open the box, we don't know if cat died because what we did with it or because we opened the box.
Yeah,
Let's ju-
you have
let's
to
just say
you have to read
it's
it up.
that microcosms
It's the it's
so much
basically the...
fucked up that even physics don't know how to explain it. And Schrödinger cat was basically a sort of mistake that papers didn't know how to interpret it.
No, it's basically explaining the concept of quantum mechanics.
Yeah,
That's kind of what it does. Anyway, um, scary concept. Let's get
and
back to this. Yeah.
let's just look at the stalker, how he did spookums. Well, you saw that cute little thing in the flashlight.
Okay, let's see.
Вот, ребята, мы и внутри. Блин, конечно, путь
You
был дикий.
I don't understand the words.
I say muted.
Так, зомби лезут на свет.
We're going to miss out on soundings, but yeah, we're basically not going to hear endless blabbering that this guy had.
Да я уже к тому времени свалю отсюда.
Why even bother
Кругом трупы,
making a
причем,
long
я так
play
понимаю,
with
либо бывших
your
защитников,
commentary?
которые
At
потом
least
стали
name it
зомби, либо
differently.
тех, кто пытался штурмовать комплекс. Кстати говоря, военные похожи на...
Could have been the game for me as well. I wouldn't have known.
Хира из первого. Они меня чуть не кончили. Потому что, твою мать, я все включил. Я включил PDA, я включил любое
You
дерьмо.
always hear ambient
Кроме того,
noises
что мне
in
нужно было.
Stalker.
Ну, такое иногда бывает.
You
Когда
never
долгожоп, плюс еще нервничаешь.
in complete silence. There's always something creaking. There's always wind in abandoned
Надеюсь, нефть не упадет
in abandoned buildings. There are always
куда-нибудь далеко.
well, basically buildings creaking on itself.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it's
there is mutants and zombies like those guys.
not unrealistic. It's hardly ever fully silent, even if with nothing running and
Дальше спустился.
Yeah,
you're not
but
saying anything. But
let's just say
Слушай,
that
как они мощно сандалят, а?
uh,
Вроде зомби-зомби,
let's just
а
look at that locker scene that we saw in Silent
вид
Hill.
так,
When
Hmm.
you get in the locker room, you have no ambient
что шума
noises.
заворачивается.
All you can hear is
Давайте будем
that
уходить наверх.
locker is creaking.
yeah, but
Кровососущий.
that's also not silent. You know what I mean?
Yes,
То я
but
ж
you can't
на молекулы
hear
расщепил.
any ambient noises. You can't
Снорк
hear anything beyond that point of interest.
Растворился.
If first it would be distracting from that audio, and second you wouldn't notice anyway because that banging noise from that locker is pretty loud. So
Уже зазомбированный.
you don't need added wind noise or anything like that.
Well, it's not like they didn't end wind noise on or anything like that. It's just that you can't hear anything at this moment beside
Hmm.
something that is supposed to be your point of interest.
Yeah, but kind of makes sense in that scene.
Yeah,
Мне непривычно с ним.
and
Очень
again,
очень ложь.
Stalker
Да я уж заметил.
more
Так,
grounded.
Давай.
And it's strange to say that when you look at
Патроны.
mutants and something
гранат у
and
тебя нет?
zombies,
И поставим их в пояс.
and he's out of the laboratory.
Yeah, since I don't understand one word, it's kind of hard to figure out what the frick is actually going on and what he's playing there. Moving on. Nope, don't want to have commercials here. Yeah, that camera angle is so weird.
Yeah, I can get what you're talking about, but I don't know. I kinda used to it.
You have been most resourceful up until now, but my creation is free.
It's that whole
Interferes in the
fully to the left
now
view that's so weird. I mean, you
Yeah,
still
and
aim.
As I said, it's prime objective of pushing that camera angle is so you can be, well, blind spotted like right now. He basically couldn't see the regenerant because of his own body.
Yeah, that's true. But even if you had it centered, you can still get blindsided from both sides. In that case, it's mostly the left side and less the right side. But yeah, I don't know. It's
Again, it's made for cheap hits.
yeah, pretty much. It's weird. I didn't get into it. They changed it for Dead Space 3.
I should have checked this video a little bit better to actually put it on fight. But yeah, this is when they introduce you an enemy that can't be killed.
Oh, where's it? A bit further to the end?
As I said, I
Oh,
should
what-
have, yeah, it should be better closer to the end.
Yeah, no idea. You have to tell me where.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
it's
there it is.
20 minutes, so you have to give me one time spot.
It basically was kinda around it.
Yeah, there's a delay of 10 seconds on a stream. That doesn't help. You have to tell me a time.
Somewhere around the end. I can't see the time.
19?
Let's say 18. Yep, there he is. 17. And that's the only way to kill that regenerative enemy. You should lure him into one specific spot, and when you going to that spot, he's always on the chase.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, and you must immobilize him either with stasis or with shooting his limb, so he would stop and regenerate, and you basically run away a little bit forward to to your destination. And that's basically the arena.
Excellent. Wait there for me. I'm on my way.
Well, then let's see.
Test firing shuttle engines.
And there he is. That's the guy.
Hmm.
Basically, they kinda copied Nemesis here and regenerative enemies from Resident Evil 4 that you can only kill with a specific rifle by destroying the parasite in them.
Hmm.
And of course, there is a points of enemy spawns.
But you did
Because
kill
why
that
not?
one guy.
Hmm?
But you did kill that one guy.
Yeah, it's just mobs. Regenerator was one thing that he shot the leg off and left it.
Ah,
When you know how to kill him, it's not as thrilling as it the first time.
alright. That's yeah.
But again, this chase sequence is kinda long, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it's if you doing it the first time, it's definitely really memorable scene.
Okay. Yeah, no idea. We're gonna play Dead Space 3 anyway, so.
Yeah, we Dead Space 3 have regenerators, but let's just say it's not as thrilling as it used to be.
And we are two people.
Again, we was talking about the atmosphere. I completely failed with Dead Space 3. Oh fuck. Original Dead Space. Stalker. I definitely should have made my own video with that one, and Silent Hill basically played this part. But again, those games give you the stake. They have a state of failure. They have a glimpse of hope, or they can create just some scenes that will make you feel uncomfortable in one area or another. And I don't know, for me, jump scares really ruining this kind of stuff. Again, FNAF. It,
Depends, I guess, how you implement them.
Well, if all you have is jump scares, as I as I already said, FNAF, those things getting really annoying really fast.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess it depends on the game.
Well,
And
it
some
also depends on the movie. It's always loud right in your face. It's zooming in, and it's mostly annoying because sometimes it's just like Sin Emily wants to play, and you're back in the start of the game.
yeah, but that's the whole point of that game. So what example would come to your mind that that killed the atmosphere by having jump scares?
Mm,
Because all those games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Emily, and all that kind of stuff, they are all based around jump scares. So that's pretty much the whole concept of those games. But if you
let's just say that in Layers of Fears, jump scares. Let's just say that they more either funny or annoying, more than getting you into the mood.
yeah, but I don't remember them too much, but they didn't really destroy the atmosphere that much. At least not for me.
The point is, they basically just there. They not something that the game rely on. Or they're not something that couldn't be missed. Well, they're something that you can just put out of the game, and the atmosphere will play it on itself. And
Yeah, but they kinda fit in the game because it is horror related and you do have those visions and stuff, so wasn't that bad and wasn't that much. So I mean, yeah, you could get rid of them maybe, but wasn't really that bad or atmosphere killing for me at least. So I don't remember a game where I would say I'm
I'd
scared
say
that.
that there's a lot of games that have atmosphere ruined, but basically movies are really good examples because they have a lot of you can have a lot of examples when they have they make you anticipate something, make you thrilled, like something's gonna happen, something gonna happen, something gonna happen, then boom, something loud, obnoxious, and not every time scary.
Yeah, but that's not a jump scare. Jump scare is when you're not expecting it. Not when you have that music getting more intense and stuff, then you know that something will pop up. But
Oh
jump
yeah,
scare,
speaking about ruining the horror atmosphere, Dead Space is a good example. When yeah, you know, I'm not going to tell that because we're going to play Dead Space 3.
yeah.
But yeah, there are some let's just say that Dead Space from the first part have some questionable moments. Like if you cut them out, or at least tone them down a little bit on music cue or loudness, it would be a little bit better.
Mm. I do remember a few jump scares in Dead Space, the little that I played.
Yeah.
But not that bad. Was not the problem I had with the game.
So yeah,
Okay.
for me, jump scares mostly annoying. And if your game completely contain jump scares and nothing at all, well, it's not like. Well, it's basically first, it's basically not for me. Second, can you even scare people beyond that old stupid YouTube trick when you show video that has some kind of quiet music and in the end scary face and loud noise?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you have to look at this point. Something will pop up at this point.
Yeah, and you're looking. Are you fucking shitting with me, mate?
Yeah, some reactions are so weird, like punching the monitor and shit like that. I mean, hey, yeah, something pops up on your monitor. Ooh, how scary. Yeah, I mean, I do get surprised by jump scares as well, but I would never react like that, like punching my monitor or starting to scream or something. I mean, I know that there are no zombies, demons, and shit like that in real life. So, I mean, it's a freaking game or a movie. So, I'm somebody I can play.
About those stupid videos, again, as an example,
Hmm.
it's not even a moving picture, it's just a still frame and loud noise.
Yeah, and you don't know when something will happen, and that's what gets you. It's not the image that you see or something.
Hey, it's not like we should punch everything that pops in front of us.
I know that, but there are people out there who kinda I don't know. It's when I would see something. If you see those prank videos when somebody is stalking in a dark alleyway as what's his name?
Michael Myers.
Nah, no game character
Oh.
with that 8 pages Slenderman.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If somebody is doing a cosplay as Slenderman and stands in an alleyway and people walk past it and see it, they freak out so hard. I would laugh my ass off and go over there and say, "Hey, cool idea." But some people get so scared.
Well, it's not like I can speak about this stuff because, because of my way to the work. But anyway, if I see something like that in the distance, I would be like, "Yep, I am altering the road for just in the case."
Yeah, I wouldn't care. Same
Hey,
with
you know
those.
what? Some people,
Same with the clowns.
Some people definitely crazy if you can see that they're filming. Well, okay. If you don't see that they're filming,
I mean, even if they're
who
not
knows?
filming,
Maybe that idiot will start punching you or something like that.
I mean, Slenderman is just a freaking game character. What? I mean,
Hey, there is two girls who try to sacrifice their friend in the name of Slenderman.
that's a whole different story.
I'm just
That's
saying
not pranking. That's not pranking
crazy
people.
exist.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with standing in the street wearing a costume of Slenderman or being completely insane and telling your completely stupid, insane friend that you know Slenderman or do some stuff. I mean, that's a whole different story.
Okay, again, people crazy. They can do some crazy shit, including
but somebody
like Napoleon and
let's
going to conquer the France.
You really think that somebody on stilts playing a Slenderman will run after you and punch you? Seriously? Come on. They can barely stand.
I want to deal with that shit.
God. Would you have ran away from a clown that is running in your direction?
No.
Yeah, so when you see those videos where people get so scared they almost piss their pants, I've seen a few videos, they reacted the right way. They waited for the clown to come and then just knocked them out. I mean, seriously. Okay, if somebody's running in my direction with an axe in his hand, it doesn't matter if he's a clown or not a clown. I would try to find something to protect myself or run, sure. But if it's just a clown scaring somebody, I don't even understand what is scary about a freaking clown.
Same here.
I don't even know. It's
I think it's maybe an American thing because
yeah.
did you saw how what kind of makeup some clown put on their freaking face?
Yeah, but still, it doesn't even have to be a scary makeup or something. Just a regular clown is.
Let's just say it's from childhood. It's a little bit of childhood trauma when you was spooked by that fucking face when you like 4 or something like that, and
Yeah, but what is
as an
spooky?
adult, you see that freaking clown and he's running at you, you'll be like, yep, I'm 4 years old, bye.
I mean, I went to the circus and I laughed about clowns. That's what clowns do. They make you laugh. Why would anyone? See, I'm not sure if there's what I never met one person in my life, in Germany who was afraid of a freaking clown. We laugh about clowns because they're the goofy part in a circus. So they make jokes, they hurt themselves, they hurt another clown, but they are out for fun. So I don't understand that concept, being afraid of a clown. I mean, I get it when you read It or watched the movie It. Okay, that might be different, but that's not a kid's movie. If you saw that as a child, your parents need to get punched in the freaking face for showing you something like that.
Also, it's really specific clown.
Yeah, that's the next thing. But yeah, nah. We had a few people running around as clowns here, people as well, but it's not the clown part, it's the chasing after you with an axe or something. So, or standing in a field doing nothing. Anyway, moving on away from totally unscary clowns. I'm at this part here.
Let's just keep it. We already basically talked about it, but yeah, we can use FNAF
This one.
just for reference. Yeah. As I said, when you have a stake like you played basically half of the level or something like that, and you are thrown at the start of the level because of how this game is made, it's starting to get really annoying.
Boo! And then always that
Yeah.
that
And
screaming
in
noise
all
to it.
of the 6 games, all 6 games have the same thing.
I mean, there's even a VR version out, and I'm not interested one single bit in it. This game, there's
Maybe
nothing.
it has a good lore, but gameplay loop can go fuck itself.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there are other games out that do the same thing where you control the cameras and the movement of somebody else or something like that. But Five Nights, it's you click through the screens and oh, something is not there anymore. You go back and forth, and it's boring as fuck. And every now and then you get scared. Ooh, yeah, no, that's such a loss of playtime for me.
I don't know. I think you get scared once or twice when it happened the first time, and after that, it's just tedious.
Yeah, I have the second one, but played it 5 minutes.
Till the first jump scare.
I don't even know. It's the art style already makes me think I play a game from the 90s. It's nah. I don't know. It's just not my game.
Same with me.
I mean,
And I actually, well, I kinda like horror games because first of all, I had Silent Hill 1, and second of all, I still can't play Silent Hill 1. And the
Yeah.
most stupid thing of it is that I can't play only Silent Hill 1. Second, third, fourth game, yeah, no problem.
What is it with the one for you?
I played it as a kid.
So still traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, jump scares do surprise me. They don't really scare me. It should be more like jump surprise than jump scare. But yeah, I do get surprised by that.
And unexpected ain't equal scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's something unexpected, so you get surprised. So woo, but it doesn't really matter what it is. It could be anything. It could be just a red ball, or I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Открывайте дверь.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I don't really get scared by anything in any game or movie. Nothing. Because I kinda know that stuff is not real, and I know that since I'm 6 or so, when I saw my first horror movie. Hi, mom and dad. So yeah, I never got scared of that stuff. I mean, somebody, let me quote somebody who said that I'm not scared by games, I'm just scared by life. And that's true. Nothing in any game, movie, or anything like that would be as scary as stuff that can happen to you in real life.
Or something
Not just,
that happened already.
yeah, like pandemics and stuff.
Yeah, you can basically open any scientific historical work and be like, holy fucking shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Especially when war happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can happen in your life and to your body, your mind, whatever, that yeah.
Or you can open just the medicine book from that time.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
As scary as wars and something like that.
when you know how many crazy people are out there, and people drive drunk around and stuff like that, I mean, just stepping outside of the house can be kind of scary when you have a lot of idiots around, and depending where you live. So you step out of your house, you might
Demons
get shot, or I don't know.
less and less scary when you start when you're thinking about real life.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So that's the reason why a lot of people enjoy horror movies and horror games, because they know they will not be able to experience the same thing without getting harmed in real life. So that's also kind of the stuff that appeals to the Saw games, for example. And that's stuff that's more scary to me, actually, is when you have scenes in a game where you cannot do anything against what's gonna happen to you, and Outlast does that in a few scenes as well. So that's bad. Any situation, and I've been in situations in my life where you're just the spectator of the scene basically, and you cannot do anything against the outcome. That's the worst feeling that you can have in your life. I had it when I had an accident, and I
Skip details.
yeah, the brakes didn't work, and
Oh shit.
yeah, and I was driving with a truck with my truck with loaded dirt on the back, and we were not driving fast, and it was regular morning traffic in the city, so it was stop and go basically, and yeah, when the one in front of me was stepping on his brakes, I was stepping on my brakes, and they had zero function. Not low function, zero. I was around 20 or 30 kilometers fast, which is not that much. And the thing is, in front of me was a regular car, and in front of that car was a big truck. If the car in front of me wouldn't have been there, I would have just killed myself really slowly by squishing the whole freaking cockpit into the back of that huge truck in front of mine, because I had a smaller truck, so it would have split me in two, I guess. I don't know. The only way to survive that would have been jumping out into traffic on the car next to me or something like that. So I was happy that I had a car in front of me, which I basically, the front was non-existent anymore, and the back part, only the middle parts where the seats were. So that guy wasn't harmed or anything, but if I didn't destroy that car, I would have died that day. And whoa, seeing death coming in your direction and you're trying to do what you can against that, wow, that was the most scary part in my life. And I've did a lot of adrenaline stuff, like, I don't know, jumping out of ski lifts, crazy shit in my life that didn't scare me one bit, or not at least that much. But that moment, that's crazy. So anything that's anything that's related like that, or to something like this, or if you have torture scenes where you're bound to a chair and somebody comes at you with a plier or something, and you have scenes like that in Outlast, and they're not coming for your fingers. So yeah, that's those intense scenes. Those are the most scary scenes in games for me personally. It's not zombies or shit like that.
True.
So
Again, as I said almost at the beginning, I prefer a little bit of ammo over not having ammo at all. That's why basically, even though I have first Outlast, I have it with DLC, but it's not like I want to continue with it.
I actually do want to continue with it, but it's always another game that is more important to me.
You know, when I had one enemy chasing me, it was a little bit tolerable. But when I get into the section of the game when the game said, hey, there are two enemies now, and they're patrolling this area. They're cannibals and they're naked. Good luck.
Well, I didn't know that there were two enemies in that game. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it's only that one guy that is chasing you.
Somewhere around the same time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you have that.
Oh, I have even only 2 hours in this game.
What did I play with? Let me check. I played it for 32 minutes.
Okay, point taken.
So until the first few jump scares in quotes, where you hide under the bed and that stuff is, and you look around and
this is a jump scare because hey, you're hidden, the enemy is around you, and the enemy is searching for you. It's not like you got in the room, nothing in that room, and then surprise enemy.
Yeah, you have some surprise scenes in the first 30 minutes. With a guy hanging somewhere and you don't expect that, and then you see it, and
Yeah,
I mean it's not like
definitely.
something is jumping out and getting you, but you still don't expect what you will see.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not like it's the same way as the enemy. When he's searching for you, he's searching for you. It's not like you hide yourself in a room where enemy ain't
Yeah,
present.
that's
An enemy just materialize in front of you.
what is the other game that also uses a phone to illuminate stuff from
Outlast.
no, we were talking about Outlast for a
Oh, yeah,
while now.
Dreadout.
A Dreadout, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. It says I didn't play it. I mean I did play it, not that much, but I should play it maybe. But yeah, it's using the
We have
same.
enough on the screen.
Oh,
Or should I say YouTube?
there you go. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of stuff like this, where you have to look on your phone to see what's happening in the room, in the back, and I mean I do get the mechanic and all, but I'm not the biggest fan of that.
In defense of Outlast, at least you have some meaning of defending yourself because you kinda hurting the enemy when you're taking the pictures of them.
Ah,
It's not like it's completely the same way as in Outlast.
okay.
Yeah, and this game have boss fights as well. So yeah, you definitely can hurt the enemy.
Okay. Yeah, well, I have so many games I should play and need to play, but I mean, it's not like I'm not getting any games in the future. So another game I want to play for years is Alan Wake.
First Alan Wake actually worth it. Alan Wake American Nightmares don't even bother.
Yeah, it's not. It's a completely different game. The
Let's just
reason,
say it's you're going to replay 3 levels, and that's all that I'm going to say.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play the game that came out after the game that I didn't play. So that's the reason why I will not continue with the Leisure Suit Larry game. Um, I was playing that. I got a key for free, and first I was tired, and second I had no fucking idea about the story from the first part, even though stuff gets explained. But I cannot continue that game without having played the first one. So would be the same for the Evil Within 2, for example. I wouldn't play that before I finish the first one. For Dead Space, I mean, you have a way.
Devil Within actually really dependent on. Well, I mean, the sequel really depending on the previous game.
Yeah, you have that in some games, so yeah, it kind of makes sense. For Dead Space 3, I think you can play that without knowing too much about the rest. The second one needs the first one, as far as I know. So yeah, sometimes it makes sense to play the original before you play
I
the
don't
next
know.
ones.
The third Dead Space is basically you have some kind of story, and all that you need to know is you did play the start, right?
Which one?
The Space 3.
No, just the first part.
No, that's what I mean. You did play it a little bit.
Yeah, a few minutes.
Yeah,
But
okay.
you already.
The girl that you see on the photo with Isaac, he met her in the second game when they break up between games. That's all.
Yeah, but you're already on a planet, which makes it some
Oh,
different.
you mean the opening area? Okay. So
Yeah.
you didn't see the game itself.
No, like I said, the first few minutes I didn't play because yeah, we want to play that for a while already.
For
The
me,
last time I
first few minutes, it's when you're playing as Isaac, basically. I'm not counting that opening section.
so you do play as Isaac later on.
Yeah,
Ah, okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense because at the beginning I was like, who the heck is that? That's not Isaac.
that's just an opening section to show you. Yeah, we change stuff a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I started it the last year in January or so. To set it up or something because we wanted to play it and then we didn't. But it's installed now and it stays on my disk, so whenever we want to play, we can. You still have to. Didn't we try that in co-op?
No,
No, we didn't. Okay. Yeah, you have to. You have to send me an invite on Origin.
I already sent.
You did. All right.
Yeah, I think I already sent it before at least once.
Yeah. No wonder I didn't find you with that name. Okay.
I remember. Okay, I'll explain it later why that name.
Yeah, you can. No worries. All good. Funny.
So anyway,
No wonder I was looking for Lothar. There's no Lothar. All right,
so
yeah.
Anyway, I definitely think that we used to have a crisis within horror games. And we still have crisis in horror movies, but that's not here and there. We're talking about video games right now. Actually, kinda action horror-ish Alan Wake. I completely forgot about this game.
Yeah, the reason why I never played it is they changed the direction of the game 180 degrees and I didn't want to play what they made. I wanted to play what they originally came up with and what the original plan was, which
And what
was
the original plan was?
the original plan was more or less go in a bit of the direction of Max Payne because it's the same developer.
Oh, okay. So basically, write writer's world, how he sees it, and stuff like that. And basically, should turn it in subpart Resident Evil.
Yeah, it was less meant as the horror game it became. So
Yeah, I can see that, especially with so much action pieces in this game.
I have 1.5 hours in that game. Really? When did I play it?
You
I
don't
forgot.
even remember that you played it.
That's how I liked it, I guess. All right, should we
In
continue
defense of
with?
this game, I say that this particular one ain't that bad. But Max Payne American Nightmare, fucking hell, Alan Wake American Nightmare is fucking shit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with the regular game.
It's
Isn't that a wave?
contextual continuation, so yes, it has to do with the original game.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the premise of it is a completely different one. So
Direct continuation. So I bought this game just because it is the direct continuation of the story. Let's just say that in the first game, Alan Wake has some thoughts like how author should write the story, and he's basically putting it like you should not have a happy ending. If you have a happy ending, the reader would be like, "What? That's it?" But if you have a tragic ending, the reader will remember your work for a lot longer than with a happy ending. And basically, American Nightmare giving a happy ending to story overall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, remember what we said you in the first game? Yeah, forget about it.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, I'm not sure if I will ever finish or continue with Alan Wake.
Yeah, okay. So can you show us the reason? Well, one of the things why I think horror genre in game industry used to be in, let's just say, in the ass.
Why did I know that will come up? Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked about the other thing, but yes, it was a concept movie that they show on Tokyo Game Show. It was basically after they released PT, it was after they released the first trailer, and basically I saw that the first time after after Konami canceled it. For me, this game might be a reason to buy a PlayStation 4. I was definitely looking forward to get a PlayStation 4 because of that game.
Yeah, I guess you were not the only one.
Well, Persona 5 also a good one, but Persona 5 and Silent Hills already a better reason to get a console than just one game.
Yeah, that's if the game would have been like this.
And
Which,
guess who looked at PT and said, "Hey, looks like we should reboot our series."
the Konami?
Capcom.
Capcom?
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Although you don't have that mechanic where the stuff and your surrounding is changing.
Yes, because it's Resident Evil, it's not Silent Hill.
Mm.
So, yeah, the previous video.
But yeah, PT would have been interesting.
I definitely think that it would be much more interesting than whatever the Stranding is. But I guess I will play the Stranding no matter what.
Completely different genre and everything.
Yeah. I'm just really curious. I know that I should not expect a lot from that game, but at least I think that. Remember that game that Shade. Yes, Shade posted in Digital Homicides about anime girl in bikini playing itself
Oh
as
yeah,
career.
I didn't check it out.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing to check actually.
What am I looking at here?
You'll see.
Okay, because I can't Japanese.
It's basically a Silent Hill footage, but it's all in original footage. And here we go. The reason why fuck Konami was born.
Microtransactions and shit.
No! Slot machines! It was their big reveal of new Silent Hill project.
Yeah, totally
And
makes sense.
Yeah, people were waiting for a new Silent Hill game, and they got this.
Is a nightmare.
Actually, can you check the date of this thing and that trailer that you showed before? When this was posted and when this the previous one was posted?
PT was 2014, the other one was 2019. 2015.
2014 and 2015, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So after they cancelled PT, they announced this.
So it's just a slot machine, basically?
Yes! It's nothing more than a fucking slot machine.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
After you fucking cancelled PT, after you fucking cancelled Silent Hills, think that you gave to people instead of okay, let's say instead of PC ports for Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3, and Silent Hill 4, which they released recently. Announcing this. They announced this fucking shit instead of proper Silent Hill.
The thing is, Konami is known for doing a lot of arcade machines, and they're big in the arcade business, not just in the digital game business, but in the IRL arcade system, basically. And that slot machine,
Right
that
now,
slot
they
machine,
the pachinko stuff.
yeah, exactly. And that slot machine is a real life slot machine. It's not a digital one. It's a real life one.
Yeah.
So
and they
it's
also have a slot machine based on Metal Gear and Castlevania.
yeah, but they didn't release that slot machine and said to the people, "Hey, you asked for Silent Hill digital game. We give you a real life slot machine." So that
Hey,
was not the
it was
thing.
the same. It was the same for Castlevania and Metal Gear. It was like, hey, you waiting for new Castlevania? Slot machine. You
Yeah, but
waiting for new Metal Gear? Slot machine.
they were not. First, that fuck Konami had nothing to do with that. That had all to do with what they did with Kojima. That's the hashtag comes from the Kojima shit they did back then. And the next thing is they didn't do the same like Blizzard when they said, "Hey, Diablo comes out on your phone." Wait, you don't have phones? So that's a whole different story.
I don't have phone. I don't have a phone that I'm willing to that I'm
yeah, but
going
that's
to install Diablo Immortal.
yeah, but that's a whole different story. They didn't release a slot machine for your phone. They released a real life slot machine that has nothing to do with digital gaming. So it's just inspired with the name because it comes from Konami. So that had nothing to do with the fuck Konami stuff. I didn't even know they had a Silent Hill slot machine until now.
He do a lot when he is talking about fuck Konami news.
Yeah, but I don't mind one single bit about a slot machine that is related to a game series. I mean, we had pinballs for a lot of games, and
yeah, I know, but again, it was timed like, hey, we just canceled the game that you were really excited about. Have this shit.
yeah, but they didn't promote it like that.
They promoted it like that. It was their big Silent Hill reveal. The same for Castlevania and Metal Gear.
You cannot even buy that slot machine.
We have a new Castlevania for you. Hey, when you have new Metal Gear project for you, and slot machines.
Yeah, but it's not like you want to buy a bicycle and the company tells you, "Hey, you can buy our car."
No,
until this day,
like, hey, you want to buy a bicycle? Give us the money. Just give us money.
I did get all the controversy back then with PT. Until this day, I did not hear anything related to a slot machine when it comes to the cancellation of PT. that had nothing to do with the slot machine. They released it not like, hey, you want PT, you get a slot machine where you have to go into an arcade and use real life money. They did not promote it like that. Otherwise, I don't know. I wasn't on this planet in 2015.
Silent Hill project. So there was people who followed this reveal, and when they saw what it is, they was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, but that's their problem
Yes,
for being
for a game,
stupid.
but you gave us this.
But that's all on them for being stupid. Sorry, no offense, but Konami is a slot machine and an arcade machine producer, just like Nintendo was a play card producer 150 years ago or something like that. If you expect something and you get something else, the fail is always on your side for expecting something that was not promoted like that. I mean, they didn't promote, hey, we will release
big Silent Hill reveal. And
But-
because cancellation of PT was really recent, people was like, new Silent Hill release. It's
yeah, but
what
they
a
did-
possibility that they can use Silent Hill name on a slot machine.
yeah, but they did not promote it like, hey, we released a new Silent Hill game. Oh, hey, surprise, it's a slot machine. That's not what they did.
Oh yes, okay. To be fair, they announced it as big Silent Hill project and not like. You can see the comment right there.
Yeah, so they might have promoted it another way in Japan because that slot machine is not anywhere outside of Japan. So that might be different, but internationally they didn't promote the slot machine instead of PT. PT was gone for several reasons, and then all that controversy with Kojima happened all around the same time.
One and only reason why it was deleted because it has Kojima mark on it.
Yeah, and so that's and what they did with that slot machine and other stuff was basically slapping Kojima's face for being pissed about him, or I don't know. They did a lot of shit back then, and yeah, they're more into the arcade industry now than they're into games. I mean, they're still
releasing Pro Evolution Soccer with the words, "Hey,
Yeah.
whoever told you that we are going out of the gaming video game business? We're still making Pro Evolution Soccer, right, guys? Buy our games, please."
Yeah, they also released a new Metal Gear, which nobody bought and is completely fail. So
Yeah, it's already past story. Nobody even remembered that it existed.
yeah, exactly. So bad. That was really a middle finger in everyone's direction. Seriously, that
There
game
is
was.
people who will defend this game on a dying breath.
It's pure shit. I mean, I don't have it. I wouldn't even play it if I would get paid for that, and that says a lot. Yeah, I played games for money, but this I wouldn't even play for getting paid. Seriously,
YouTube.
I saw enough of the game that I know it is shit. It tries to be something completely different than it is, and
You
just
have YouTube all over the screen.
yeah, I know. I have this. There you go. So yeah, it's no, it's yeah, nah. Nah.
What? Okay, fuck it. Again, this game never happened.
Yeah, basically. When I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's a middle finger in Kojima's direction and all the gamers that supported Metal Gear in the past. But I was already sure that when they release it without Kojima, it will be definitely 100% fail. So might be okay if you don't look at it as a Metal Gear game, but even then,
It's just a mediocre survival game.
yeah, I've
It's
seen.
not better than 7 Day to Dice.
No, it's not even close to that. Not even remotely close to that game.
Well, let's just say it's more stable because it's used Fox engine that is powering Metal Gear 5.
Yeah, but it doesn't
It's
have
still
that.
mediocre survivor horror.
Nobody needed it.
survival game.
They just wanted to make a quick buck with a Metal Gear
Survival.
game and flip the finger in direction of Kojima. That's the only reason why they released this game.
Yeah. Look, Kojima, we can make money on Metal Gear even without you.
Yeah,
What do you mean you don't want to play our game?
I'm actually not sure how many people actually got that game and didn't refund it. I mean, you have only a bit more than 2,500 reviews,
You
which
can
is
see that amount of mostly positive.
10.
At least 10 people didn't refund this game.
Yeah. Woohoo! Yay! They made 400 euros. So yeah, here that curator here mentions it's not a Metal Gear, but it kept me playing basically. So you shouldn't see it as a Metal Gear game. Then you might be fine. All right.
Okay, again, as I said, one company looked at PT and decided that they should reboot their survivor horror series and make it, I don't know, horror and not action packed like Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, but PT was also not the first game who did stuff like that.
It
was-
wasn't the first game who did stuff like that, but it basically showed to the youth that people still interested in, let's just say,
Yeah.
sort of classic survivor horrors, and because market not as exaggerated as it never used to be.
What I don't understand, why
Well,
didn't Kojima and Del Toro just made it after he left Konami?
I think because all assets belong to Konami.
Hello, but the concept was his idea, so just make new assets. They only had one freaking corridor and 2 rooms or something like that. It's not like they had thousands of assets made for that already. So
There might be a problem like you bring us the game plan, we already registered the name, so piss off, it's ours.
yeah, but that doesn't matter. Just name it TP and make the same game, same concept.
It's a playable teaser. Game was supposed to be named Silent Hills.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't matter. If Kojima would make that and name it differently.
Well, yeah,
No.
definitely. He should have tried instead of Death Stranding making new
Yeah.
horror game. It would definitely end up better.
For that hype and the combination of those two people, that might have been really interesting. And with that concept movie trailer, yeah, I mean, it could have been really, really good. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm also not sure about Death Stranding. I mean, I might get it at one point, but you do have to play for at least 10 hours or so until you get to the real game, as far as I know, and a lot of
Yeah.
people
It's not
might.
like Metal Gear when you was introduced new mechanics with every series.
Yeah, no, it's Death Stranding is really a slow game. It takes forever to start off. Then it gets better and more intense, but the first 10 to 15 hours, if you don't get over that, you will not see the full game, what it actually can and could be. So I do know that, so yeah, I might get it at one point in the future. Anyway, what else should we show?
As I said, interest in new Silent Hills made Konami realize that they did a little bit of stupid things with Resident Evil, specifically Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6. And especially if you look at Silent Hill Downpour, Homecoming, and I forgot the name of other game. When you look at those Silent Hills and realize that they used to be complete failures, and when fans going back to Silent Hills after Silent Hill announced that it's going to be more horror related, it's basically a click like, hey, people want more horrors. We have a horror series with which basically started the survivor horror genre. We can make money with. And what used to be popular? PT. We can use survivor horror from first person's perspective.
Yeah, I already have that open here. That fits pretty well. I might actually play it in the future because it's part of Game Pass. Otherwise, it would be definitely a skip for me.
Yeah,
Because-
you said several times because of the VR mode.
Yeah, exactly. This would be awesome in VR. I mean, I know it's pretty cool in VR on the PlayStation, but you will never know on
didn't
PC.
open it.
Not gonna see it on PC. Nope. Because it looks really awesome.
Again, you didn't open it.
Huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the window capture shit. Maybe one day I figure stuff out. I need another scene for that.
Yeah, that was basically Capcom's middle to Konami, and basically the biggest competition, Silent Hill, which got cancelled. And it's a breath of fresh air for fans of survivor horrors.
Yeah, I still think that using Resident Evil as name for this game is not fitting.
Let's just say that original name for the series is Biohazard.
Yeah, I know. Also in Japan, Resident Evil is known as Biohazard. But still, for me personally, it doesn't have enough to do. Maybe it is explained later on, but
No, it's just because it's in a big spooky mansion in the first game.
no, I mean it doesn't have anything to do directly with Umbrella Corporation and stuff like that you know from several Resident Evil games by now.
Oh,
So
it has a connection with Umbrella.
yeah, I guess, but
It's in the late game you can see those connections.
Yeah, I guess they have to put it in somehow, but
You know, I wouldn't be too. How would I say it? I wouldn't be.
I mean,
I
don't.
Maybe I read it for the lack of the better word.
Yeah, I don't.
Be like, hey, not only the Umbrella is that one big bad corporations. There are also some stuff that not related to Umbrella, but can have some effect like this. Like
Yeah, it's
in the first game, Umbrella there just because Umbrella always does shitty thing, but Las Plagas could be spreaded not just by Umbrella but by some fanatics.
now let me explain it differently. There's a game. Shit, what was the name of that game? Prey. You have Prey and you have Prey. They have the same name and have nothing to do with each other. Then you have Resident Evil until Resident Evil 6, and then you have the basically reboot of the series with 7. which is Resident Evil, but it is not Resident Evil, if you know what I mean.
They decided that they're going to run it into Resident Evil canon because you have Chris Redfield in the DLC. So yeah, they basically
DLC doesn't count for a game. Added content doesn't count to a game for me. I mean, yeah, it does, but if you don't get a DLC, you don't have the connection. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they still put an umbrella in it, but
yeah,
it looks like. First of all, it looks like a completely new remake.
yeah.
But then somewhere during the development, they decided there is going to be a connection to Umbrella that you can see in late game, and they were like, "Hey, we can make a DLC with Chris."
Yeah, maybe they should have named it, since it's not internationally known outside of Japan as Biohazard. Maybe they should have named it Biohazard: A Resident Evil Story or something like that. I'm just not happy with the Resident Evil 7. See, that's the problem I have. You look at it and it doesn't look.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard in the whole world, but in Japan they named it Biohazard Biohazard 7 Evil.
Yeah, I know, but forget it.
Yeah,
It's not Resident.
Naming is a strange thing. Let's just say it like that.
Yeah, it's just not Resident Evil for me. It is a game with zombies and all, but for me, what I would expect, and I'm not a fan of Resident Evil, but if I would be a fan of Resident Evil, that would not be a game that I would expect from a Resident Evil title. Know what I mean? No
Let's
third
just say
person.
It's actually a game that you expect from Resident Evil title because it's Resident Evil. It's just the stupid name because
it does.
Sorry about bioweapon.
Hi, Victor, by the way. For me personally, it changes the whole gameplay. Resident Evil is a third-person shooter. It's not a first-person shooter. It's a third-person game.
It's a fucking survival horror with tank control. Let's start with that.
Yeah, still, it's... Never mind. It's not Resident Evil for me. Even though it's in the title, but... How are you doing, Victor?
The same, let's just say that Resident Evil 7, it's new Resident Evil 4. And basically, there is a trailer for Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, which will once again be first person.
It's not like it's not working. It's actually really a decent experience.
Does that already have a release day?
At least it has a release year, if I remember correctly.
No, it doesn't show anything about Resident Evil 8.
Well, let's just check a trailer.
Okay. That makes it easier. Oh yeah, right. They were teasing that in the oh so great PlayStation announcement session or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's not even an exclusive.
It's not exclusive?
As far as I know.
I see a hard time upcoming for Sony, and I'm happy about that. I'm so happy about that.
I'm kinda not, but oh well, I can. I cannot say that they didn't already throw the towel with PlayStation 5.
Yeah, they deserve everything they get from Microsoft side from now. So
yeah.
you have to be a really hardcore fanboy of the PlayStation to get it. There is no argument at all for the PlayStation against the Xbox. None. Zero. Absolutely
Hey,
nothing
I'm
besides
a
one or
fan,
two games.
and even I can see that. Yeah, there is no point in fuck, PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. There will be one or two exclusive games, but nah. That's
I'd say that there will be no exclusive games, especially if they actually will release their own games on Epic stores.
I mean, they will have some timed exclusives, and I'm not sure. I mean, God of War will stay exclusive, I think. Ratchet and Clank will stay exclusive. But
We'll
really,
see.
for those two games,
Yeah. I mean, God of War 4, the last one was exclusive, and it looks like will stay exclusive. But upcoming one, we will see.
every God of War was exclusive until now.
Yeah. And
Oh.
that's going to be a really big problem for Sony if they lose it.
Chris? Sorry, Ethan.
So basically, the next game is named Village, and Resident Evil is like subtitle.
Hmm. Yeah, and it introduces Chris Redfield again at the end, so.
But this time he doesn't look shoehorned in like in Resident Evil 7.
Looks definitely interesting. Actually, Victor, it depends. I mean, not in one bar, but I have this in it. Wait. That's what I have in my snacker at the moment. Chocolate peanuts. In case you're wondering. Anyway. But yeah, the exclusivity of PlayStation titles will definitely be less on the PlayStation 5 than it was on the PlayStation 4. And they also realized that exclusivity isn't working for forever. I mean, there's a reason why they released a bunch of games on Epic and on
It's
Steam
working
now.
for Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo is a whole different story. That's, for me personally, Nintendo is the only real console left. The PlayStation and the Xbox are just PCs. It's nothing else. What you can play on a PC can be played on a console, and the other way around. Stuff that gets out on the Switch can be played on the Switch. That's it. So, I mean, even though you have PC games on the Switch as well and stuff, but Nintendo, for me personally, Nintendo is the only real console company left.
And there is no arguing about that.
So, and that's cool. I mean, if you don't want to play what everybody plays, you get a Switch, because there you have games that you will never ever see on any other console ever in the future, besides an
The
emulator.
ultimate
So
winner of console wars, Nintendo.
if you see it like that, yeah, I mean it's the last console standing basically. I mean there are a few others as well, but they're not really new consoles or anything. They are mostly retro consoles like PC Engine and Neo Geo and stuff like that. The new Atari console is also a bit different, but yeah, true. But it's different. I mean, the PC Engine that they released is around, I think, 70 or 80 euros or so, and there's pretty nice stuff. So I'm kind of tempted to get that at one point. I mean, I do have this one package right next to me. I have this one. So Need to continue with Zelda, by the way. But I'm about to buy a capture card, so stuff might change in the future. Hey DJ Beats, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're the creators of Mercedes-Benz. Why? That's kind of out of context commentary to come on the channel. Hey, we make Porsche, we make other stuff as well. So anyway, let's check out this last one. I didn't hear of this game yet.
I highlighted it.
A remake from a '98 title?
The nightmares from that day never let go.
I don't think so.
It says Daymare 1998, or is it the title of the game?
Title.
Survived hell
Ah,
once.
okay. It plays in the time, I guess.
Well, it's
Never saw-
definitely a survivor horror experience with
In this time.
modern horror elements. But all I can say that I'm really interested in the content.
Put your bits in my cup. Your bits in my cup, yeah. Put your bits in my cup. Your bits in my cup, babe.
Put your bits in my cup. Thank you. And I don't have the stream jar. Thank you for the biddies.
I'm really interested in the concept because it looks like definitely a survivor horror game. But looks like it might be janky. It has a mixed review, so I didn't try it yet, but I will try it when I get my hands on it.
It says PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and it says out now 2019. There is no Daymare on Steam, at least not in Germany.
Well, it's not like you could see Dying Light as well.
Yeah. Do you see it on Steam?
Dying Light?
No, Daymare.
Let me check.
Keen sight.
Because I never heard of that game until now.
Yes, I can see it.
Cider.
You can see it? Fuck
Yeah.
you, German Steam! Seriously, I'm a fucking grown-up. Seriously. I've seen shit in my life that you didn't see, Valve. You did not see that shit that I saw. Fucking hell, seriously.
Check
This is...
GOG for reference. Maybe it's not just Steam.
Nah, it's mostly Steam. Where we don't see stuff. But has to do with the... Yeah, I see it on GOG. $29.99. Funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that will definitely fuck you, Steam.
Yeah, that's... The thing with Steam is, and that pisses me off since 15 years, it's so easy to have age verification in Steam. It's the easiest way that they can do. It's so easy. It's crazy they don't have it. I mean, it would be enough.
Again, it's basically the same thing we talked about during our adult games conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy. We have, when you get a new personal ID here in Germany, you can choose between having an online PIN for age verification and not having that. I obviously chose that. I did not until this day, and I have my my passport and my ID for 10 years or so, and I did not until this day find any way where I can use my online age verification PIN anywhere. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, besides the fact that we have it from our government side, no pages using it. It would be so easy on Steam. I mean, let me put the number of my ID in, and then it's me. And if it's my kid getting my ID, I mean, that's on me. That's not on Steam. I mean, that's the problem of the parents if they cannot raise their child's right. So if I tell Steam I'm over 40, let me fucking play what I want to play. But stuff changes now. So things that have not been allowed in Germany because of Nazi symbolism are possible to be bought and played with Nazi symbols now. That doesn't mean that all the games from the past will be uncut for us, but games that come out in the future don't have to be cut from Nazi symbolisms or something like that to be released in Germany. So stuff is changing, but yeah, since basically everybody can get on Steam and watch whatever they want, be it porn games. I can see porn games where you can see intercourse on Steam, not censored, blurred or anything. Direct close-ups, but I'm not allowed to see or buy Dying Light. Yeah, well. Sex isn't a problem in Germany.
I think you already had the same rate
Yeah, I mean, I have
like
to mention
1 year
it.
ago or something like that.
I have to mention that also for people who don't know what's going on in Germany. So we have a different censorship here, but if there's sex included, if there are drugs included, no problem. Australia, if you have one joint in a game, done. It's not gonna be released in Australia. Drugs, no go. You can shoot people in the head, doesn't matter. Drugs? Oh no. Drugs are harmful.
It's
Weapons are
not
not.
like we have it a lot better. You know, I've seen how SpongeBob SquarePants changed its ratings from 7 plus to 12 plus, and right now SpongeBob is 16 plus. SpongeBob has the same rating as Simpsons.
I mean, I was selling Nintendo games and stuff for a living years ago. And since SpongeBob was really big and everybody was like, hey, SpongeBob. I tried it. I tried to watch a few episodes. First, that's not a kids show. That's a show for adults or older kids. You have to be at least 15, 16 to get at least half of the jokes. Bikini Bottom. It already starts with Bikini Bottom. Hello? Seriously?
It's
Okay.
not like it can be understood in Russia.
Yeah, I mean, okay, translation stuff is a different thing. I mean, it's the same here in Germany. I don't even know if it's called. I think it's called Bikini Bottom here in Germany because it's a regular name that is kind of used like New York or okay, it's a bad example, but anyway, I tried it and I don't know what those creators took in their life, but it was not just smoking a joint every now and then. That show is so insane. I mean, seriously,
Yes,
this is.
earlier episodes definitely used to be insane. It actually even had gross close-ups like Ren and Stimpy and something like that.
Yeah, our Ren and Stimpy is also not a kids show.
No, but even it's not even looking like a kids show.
Not directly, no. But yeah, no, SpongeBob is no. My kid wouldn't watch SpongeBob. No. It's just that show is crazy. Sorry, I mean it's insane.
It's not as crazy anymore. But yeah, it has some questionable moments.
Yeah. But that's funny that I see that I see Damia on GOG and not on Steam. Wait, let me actually check here if I see it when I'm logged in as well. Because that might be a whole different story then. No, I still see it. Well, awesome, Valve. Awesome. I mean, I'm not missing out on the best game or anything, but that's so weird. Alright, anyway, moving on.
Yeah, basically one thing that I want to show as well.
Which one? The one where you marked?
Yeah. You did skip it.
I think I actually have that wishlisted. Isn't there a VR version out as well, I think?
I no, because this game is primarily third person. Also, it's basically in small indie game created by a small studio somewhere in Asia. I think Indonesia.
Yeah, I think Indonesia, yeah.
It's not like they can make a VR version while working on full game itself.
I thought I read something about it. It doesn't matter if you're an indie developer or not when it comes to VR games.
Well, it's definitely come into how this game actually planned and if they actually have any kind of experience, kind of stuff.
Oh, the original Dreadhouse is one of the good examples of Greenlight.
Yeah, we actually mentioned it, I think.
Hmm.
Well, I really hope we mentioned it because I definitely wanted to mention it.
Dreadhouse 2, with the way the light looks and all, it kind of reminds me of Alan Wake a little bit.
I would say it's basically mostly like Fatal Frame should be. Was the Fatal Frame? Yep, Project Zero Fatal Frame. Again, stuff like Dreadout is kinda unique in a way that you can see Asian horrors.
Yeah, that's true. And mythology and the demons and ghosts they're afraid of
Yeah.
or something.
And they have a lot of this shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, a lot of games from Asia use those things.
Yeah.
You see that in a lot of those movies as well. They have a lot more of those ghostly demon-like things going on over there, as far as I know.
Anyway, it's a really interesting thing. And again, looking at how basically PT restarted interest of developers into creating horror games and not those cheap jump scare ones, but actually full-fledged horror games. I'm actually less worried about the genre right now as I used to be, well, when FNAF was popular. I think that survival horror might have a new. Well, it's already had a new beginning. I think it's going to be a little bit more prosperous than it used to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's planned for the new consoles, but just from a technical point of view, there's a lot of crazy possible in the future. So who knows what we will get on those next gen consoles? Like, I don't know, remakes of games from the past. Some games from the original Xbox actually were updated graphically to make sense on the newer consoles. So maybe we see some new waves of remakes from games like Silent Hill and stuff like that.
No.
Who knows?
It will only happen if Konami will be bankrupt and somebody will buy their assets.
It was just an example.
Okay.
Damn, you're so picky sometimes.
I am picky because I will not get Silent Hills.
picky on words, picky of functions and things in games, logical stuff. Oh, we're almost at 3 hours. Damn, I need I definitely need a break. But I just saw something that I was talking about earlier, so I'm gonna show that as well. Since I was mentioning that earlier, and we were talking about the future of horror games and stuff. Damn, you're not supposed to talk. Wait, what? 26 minutes? Shut the fuck up. Where's gameplay? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, there's gameplay.
I'm okay. I'll be okay.
Just hit somebody in the middle.
Yeah. Wait. Let's see. Here maybe.
UV flashlight, very strong, but needs to be aimed.
It looks great. I might actually reinstall Dying Light. I just deinstalled Borderlands 3. But replaying or continuing with Dying Light, that makes more sense for me. It's such a satisfying game when you smash those zombies.
Okay, I don't remember that they used to leap like that at you. So yeah, it's definitely something interesting already.
Yeah, this is Dying Light 2.
Infection progresses. Our biomarker is turning red.
This is the new one. I'm looking forward to. I mean, gameplay-wise and story-wise, Dying Light was one of the best games that I played in the last few years.
Another way to use
That says a lot. I mean, I play a shit ton of games,
it covers a
and I don't finish that many. So when I fully finish a game and do pretty much everything I can do in a game, yeah, that kind of speaks for the quality of the game. And I enjoyed Dying Light so much that I did get the add-on as well. So
Oh, it has stamina.
oh, you have that in the original as well.
Stamina was draining when he was holding an edge and climbing up.
Nah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure
okay, it's realistic, but it's something that making me worry.
well, you just have to,
Level up.
yeah, and look for different ways maybe. But it looks really awesome.
Can't argue with that.
Definitely an awesome game. I don't mind if they delay that a bit more. I mean, they also know that people expect a really great game.
I did remember what I wanted to say. Do you remember how I said, I think it was during... Was it during... either was during adult games or something like that.
And what?
So, do you remember that I said something about that? I'm really afraid that games will become more and more realistic, and they'll basically will fall into uncanny valley category.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see a horror game that will drop out into uncanny valley category. For horror game, it should be fitting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, then I wouldn't mind photorealistic graphics, because you already, from the topic itself, when you're playing a zombie game, you already know it's a game. So it's not like, yeah, it's kind of hard to explain what I mean now, but
Fantasy is fantasy, and real world is the real world.
yeah, I mean, it's one thing if I have something like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the remake, where kids are killed and stuff like that, and I see that in photorealism, or I play like Dying Light, where I smash zombie faces in. So kind of difference for me, at least. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but we will see what's going on with photorealism and games in the future.
Yeah,
But
and
there will
without,
definitely be all
getting
kind of
too
games.
much into politics, it's specifically Russian soldiers who kill those kids, you motherfucking Activision, die, you motherfuckers.
Yeah,
So anyway, I think we should
I don't.
finish.
I don't know. I just know that stuff like that is in the game. That one scene where you're in the airport as well, as far as I know, but it's not a one-to-one remake, so they added more stuff. So I
It's
think
basically not a remake, but a prequel to original Modern Warfare.
no, it's
People already made an analysis of the story. It's basically taking the place before first Modern Warfare.
but you play the same story. It's just changed a little bit of
No,
the stuff that you will see.
It's basically a prequel.
Eh?
Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, so hey, it's almost 5 p.m. Almost 3 hours later. Steam, no, not Steam. OBS might want to update, maybe, because we're definitely streaming longer than 2 hours. So yeah, I'm. Do you want to play some Dead Space?
It's already 11 for me.
Yeah, that was my thought.
If it would be like Saturday tomorrow, then maybe. But yeah, I have work to do tomorrow.
Tomorrow I have to work in the afternoon, so that's also not gonna happen, I guess. But I'm not working on the weekend, so maybe we could do something like a belated Halloween stream thingy with Dead Space.
Why not?
Because yeah, Halloween is tomorrow, right? So
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm not sure. I want to stream more. I have to do something, but I guess I can do that tomorrow as well. What I definitely need after 3 hours is a bio break. I'm almost peeing my pants here. So let me switch to this here for now. Some
no
kind.
famous last words.
Your famous last words.
Fuck Epic Bio Games on GOG.
I can't say any more to that. We cannot add anything to